Welcome to My Psychic Connection. I am your host, Journey Ryan. It is Thursday night, guys. That means we got what? One more damn day of this damn week. And I couldn't be happier about that. Finally get 2 days off. It's going to be great. All right, guys. Just so you guys know, we are getting closer and closer to the edge of this retrograde. And it is almost over, guys. 4 days. 4 days. Now, just because the retrograde ends in 4 days doesn't mean that the effects of the retrograde aren't still going to affect you. Now, they're not going to be as severe, but when it comes to the retrograde, especially Mercury, where it messes with communication, it causes chaos, and then you guys get into chaos, which causes arguments, which causes fighting, which causes all these different things. Remember, those effects still affect you. And those things will, continue to keep digging into you. So remind yourself of, okay, communication was off. It's not their fault. Let's see if we can't try to get to the problem. Let's try to talk civilized. That's your biggest thing, is trying to talk civilized. So remember, retrograde's almost over, but you're going to feel the effect for a minute. All right. So we got some people here, and I'm going to bring on tonight's reader. Tonight we have Emma Rose. Emma,
hi.
Oh, I like your hair that way. It looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. It's all natural. I just sleep on it, and then it does this. So.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Got
to be the best bedhead I've ever seen.
Thank you. No,
I know mine don't look like that. I look like a cotton swab on the top. It's like... I'm like, okay, time to slick this bad boy down.
It looks good, though.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Best you can do,
Exactly. Let's do it. Whatever I got, I'll give it. So, how are you doing tonight? Feeling a little bit better is what I hear. You don't sound...
Yeah, absolutely. Like my nose was so congested last night, and given some other things that were going on, I was just like, okay. Even a tissue didn't help with my nose. I'm like, are you serious? Like, here I am giving readings and not even being able to breathe through them.
Oh, that was not fun.
But I lived. It was still fun,
Absolutely. But guys, remember, on tonight's show, every time you jump, $1 of your donation is going to go to the Salvation Army to provide families with turkeys this holiday season. And next month, we're going to be donating money for Toys for Tots to see if we can't help those kids get some toys that are in need, because there are a lot of families in need, and going through a pandemic and everything that we've been through in these last 2 years. Can you guys believe this has been going on for 2 years? So just know that, we're all going to try to get through this together. The best way to get things done is if we do it together, because we're only as strong as our weakest link.
Yes, and just like the chief from the Howdy Usani said, one is easily broken, but many stand strong, and also every child deserves a childhood.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Well said, young grasshopper.
Thank you.
Catherine says your hair looks effing cute, Emma.
Aw, thanks, Catherine.
Good stuff. All right, guys. Now, how we do things here, if you're new to the show, we're going to call out your name. We're going to call out 2 names. The first one that says, we say, put out your question. Please put your question on there. and the other name we'll be calling out. Get your question ready. That way we can move smoothly. When it comes to free readings, the free readings are 3 minutes long. At the second minute mark, you will hear a small bell, and then at the end of the reading, you're going to hear sounds like a buzzer.
School bell.
Yeah, like the school bell. So that lets you guys know that is the end of your reading. Now, if you do jump the list, that will guarantee your read. It will also allow your reading to take as long as it needs to in order to get out your message. So remember, guys, general reads, we tend to keep those for the website. They can go longer and they can get kind of personal. So we try to keep the generals on the website. That website is mypsychicconnection.com. All right. So if you do the jump, you can get a mediumship, or if you have a specific question you want to ask, we can get a little bit more in depth. You can get a little bit more one-on-one with it and take more than 3 minutes, because sometimes it takes longer than 3 minutes to get a reading. All right. So I hope everybody's ready. Remember, we posted the link, the website. We are doing a giveaway tonight, guys. So you got to stay tuned and wait to hear your name called. And we're going to go here and check the jump list before we get started. And then I'll start calling some names. Let's see who we got. All right. Nothing just yet on the jump list, but it is early, like super early. So let's go ahead and see who we got starting off tonight. We have Christina A starting off, and then Brittany H. Get your question ready. Christina, go ahead and throw us your question. You are first on our list. Christina, it's your turn right now. I probably scared her with the whole retrograde. She's like, damn it. Journey go talking about that damn retrograde. Got me freaking out over here. There's only 4 days left, Christina. All right, here she is. Christina says, is Ivan's mindset better than before when it comes to him and me?
Well, the first thing I have to say to you, Christina, is that you can lead an individual to an oasis. However, you cannot force them to be pleased with the oasis. Okay? You can lead somebody.
You said that damn retrograde.
So basically, what I mean by that is you can lead someone to the oasis in a really bad desert, and you can tell them all the great things about it, show them all the great reviews, whatever it is. And you can lead them there, but it doesn't mean they're going to like it. They could be very displeased with it. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is you can't please everyone, is what it looks like to me. It seems like they were kind of like hot and cold with you before, but I feel like that was very fake on their behalf. Because let's admit it, not everybody's friendly in this world, Christina. And I sincerely apologize that you had to go through this. If this has hurt you more than you thought, I feel like subconsciously it's hurt you a lot more than you think. And I feel like you're worrying way too much about what this individual thinks of you. And you really just need to let go of the control of, okay, clearly I can't please this person. I need to stop worrying about what they think.
I think she's saying, is he overthinking that gets him in trouble? Is it his overthinking?
Yeah, because I feel like with him overthinking so much, it's getting him in a really bad mood. And when he's in that mood, he gets really snippy, and it's nothing personal. At the end of the day, his choices, his actions, his outcomes. So I feel like you just need to, easier said than done, but you slowly got to back away from fixating on him so much, or them, whoever it is. I sincerely apologize. You got to stop fixating on this individual so much, because it's holding you back from what you should be worried about, which is yourself right now and your accomplishments, especially in your career.
She says it's the fact that he left without an explanation to me before.
Yeah, and this is what I mean by, like, he's not worth your time. That's what I'm trying to tell you, is that he's not worth your time because you can't worry too much about what this person thinks anymore, because they just ran, closed the book, gone like the dust, ran like the wind. So I wouldn't be worried about dust, okay? When you have a whole temple ahead waiting for you filled with gems and treasure and gold, why would you want to miss out on that? Why are you focused on the dust? Why are you trying to lead someone to an oasis that they're not pleased with? You know, so keep that in mind.
Right. All right, Christina.
Thank you, Christina.
I hope that helps, honey. Give you something to think about. All right, so the next person on our list is Brittany. I think it says Brittany H, but that says Brittany L.
Weird.
Yes, Brittany H. Oh, Tony's changing it. Don't worry, Brittany. All right. Christina said, thank you for the reading.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right. Good stuff, guys. We're going to keep on going here. Don't forget, you guys can jump the list, get a longer read, and that will give you you'll be technically donating $1 to the Salvation Army. So get ready for that. Oh, she said, well, Len's her middle name for Brittany. All right. Brittany says, do you see my kid's father working against me for my kids?
That's heavy. That's really heavy for you. It seems like you and him would fight a lot, from the looks of it. And I'm trying to maintain my poker face and not have my and be overly empathic, because this is about you, not me. So it just seems like he's very tense about the situation for sure. He's definitely, he loves the kids, but the question is he going to be manipulative? Because I feel like he's manipulated you a lot in the past, and he's been very passive aggressive with, like, a lot of backhanded comments. Like, he'll be one of those people that, for example, he'll be like, oh, you look nice for once, very sly comments like that, I feel like, is what he would do. And I can definitely understand why you're fearful, and a big thing for you that I need you to do for yourself is you need to validate the fact that you feel a certain way. Okay, you gotta realize that what you're feeling is okay to feel. And I feel like you're not allowing yourself to feel that way. And there's a lot about, about you not receiving that unconditional love from others. And I feel like you've been kind of lost, and you're trying to, in a way, seek this out.
She says yes, because he took them last year for 6 months and didn't even get to speak to them, and it traumatized me. She says, I finally got them back from him. We got a custody agreement now, thankfully, but still get bad feelings. He's up to no good.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like he's been trying to talk the kids into something. To be honest with you, I feel like he may be trying to talk them into something, or he may be doing those backhanded comments, like he's being passive aggressive with the kids about their mom, which is you. I feel like you guys would fight a lot, I mean, it's just those poor kids and poor you, it's just, but you need to understand that you need to process your emotions, and that's not what you're doing right now. To be cutthroat with you, which is what you need right now, is that you need to worry about your emotions. Okay? Your emotions need to get back in check so that you can be the best for yourself and your kids. Because once you have kids, your life is not just about you. You're on the priority list, right? But your kids are above you on the priority list. Obviously, mom has to be in the top 5, okay? But remember, you're still on the list. You know? Obviously, you got to protect your kids, and love does mean sacrifice, but that also means it for you too. So basically, keep yourself on the list, but make sure those kids are safe and they're not getting themselves into anything they shouldn't, because psychology proves that if their elders or whoever they're influenced by does something enough around them, even if it's abusive or heavy, that the kid will view it as normal and they'll start doing it as if it's the norm, you know? So be mindful.
All right. She goes, at least don't speak negative to them about him or his girlfriend, even though I can't stand him.
That's good. Continue being a bigger person.
Absolutely. That's a strong move there, girl. But guys, we got our first jump. So, our first jump of the night. Our first jump of the night is from Deanna. I got you, sweetheart. She says, I just donated. You sure did. And you are our first jump of the night. We appreciate it.
Salvation Army said thank you.
And bless us with your question. Brittany says, thanks so much. You are welcome.
Of course, anytime.
All right. So Diane says, would love to know if I'm going to be in a relationship with James, and if so, when?
Okay. Oh my gosh, you are head over heels for James, aren't you? I see you.
A strong energy there.
Oh yeah, she's like a rock star. She seems like a very hip, retro girl, for the better. Like, she seems really cool. Intense in a beautiful way, for sure. And I like it. Very outgoing. With James, it seems like James, he's very back and forth. I get this like tilt motion going on here. And I feel like he's not really certain on what he wants even for himself. And I feel like he's kind of insecure with himself. And I want you to realize, sweetheart, that you cannot fix James. And something tells me you try to empathize with him. You try to tell him, James, are you okay? Do you even just need some coffee? Like, I can tell you're a monster this morning. Like, I can tell that you're trying so hard to empathize, but he's like, oh no.
Yes.
Yeah, like, I can tell you're like, James, let me help you. James, are you okay? James, is your world collapsing? And it's okay to feel that way. I'm not mocking you at all. If anything, I'm applauding you for actually being empathetic, because you don't see that much anymore. And another thing I'm trying to say to you is, along with that, at the same time, James can't even empathize with himself right now. Okay? He's still a man. He's a man-child. He's like John Mayer. He'll sing all these like love songs, but he doesn't know what he's singing about. Unfortunately, and it has nothing to do with you. If anything, he doesn't deserve you. Because you deserve better. You cannot settle for less. You deserve top of the line. Think of it this way. Would you rather have, 15 knockoff Target bags, maybe 5 Michael Kors bags, or would you rather have 1 Chanel bag that'll last you a lifetime that you never get tired of? Think of relationships that way. Would you rather have a bunch of knockoff bags? They look cute, but they aren't the real deal. No pun intended. Mm-hmm. Or would you rather have 5 Michael Kors bags? They're decent. They'll last you for some time, but it's not what you want. Or would you rather have 1 Chanel bag, that one guy that you know for sure you'll spend the rest of your life with? And yes, I know it takes a lot to swallow your pride. For anyone, not just you. I'm saying this about anyone. I'm preaching to the choir here, honestly, with your reading. Not to expose you too much. I'm very sorry, but basically, I'm preaching to the choir, like I said. If you want to, know what your worth is, you gotta show people what you're worth. You can't just expect people to assume. Yes, people have that BS radar ingrained in them, of course, but another thing you really gotta work on is being yourself. And I get your spunky attitude, and I like that, but you're very afraid to let it show. And I feel like you're not attracting the right people because you're not being yourself. 110%. It's tough, Yes, I know it's tough, but just, I'm saying this to everybody right now. This one little piece. Swallow your pride and just own who you are for the better. Swallow your pride and admit to the fact that, you know, you weren't holding yourself up to a higher standard. It does not mean James is a bad person. James is a good guy, but he's just not fit for you because you're not on his level. You've leveled up.
You said messing with him for 5 years.
But that's the thing, is you're expanding, you're growing. Within those 5 years, you've been leveling up above James. Literally. See the word messing around. You don't want to continue messing around. The word mess.
She said he don't want to let me go.
That's the problem. He's toxic. Mess. Chaos. Destruction. It's not what you want. Okay? You deserve something.
She said, true that.
Exactly, sweetheart. You want
she
something.
Said exacts.
What?
I said you said exacts instead of exactly.
I know.
I loved it.
Add it to Urban Dictionary.
There you go.
There we go. Basically, what's on fire, in other words, what the hot gossip is here, what the truth is. That's my little term for hot gossip, is what's on fire. Is, you know, basically, at the end of the day, sweetheart.
She goes, so do you think if I'm going to meet someone new soon?
That is up to you and what you choose to do with your spiritual awakening and your path to vulnerability and being yourself. And let me tell you about that. Let's have a talk. Grab your coffee and take a deep breath. So.
Tea time.
What?
I said it's tea time.
Yes, it is hot gossip time. Let's talk about what's on fire right now. Exacts. So, you know, it's one of those things of when you're yourself, you will be absolutely astonished on how your life will transform. Okay? When you're being yourself, all the right people will fall into place faster than you can even believe. From your followers on TikTok, from the people that even serve your coffee at Starbucks. Like, come on now. Like, all of that, Mercury retrograde right there. All of that, you know, it will transform your life. People will actually be a lot nicer to you if you think about it when you're being yourself, because it will get rid of all the people that don't matter. You won't even be worried about the people who don't like you because you're too busy worrying about your own growth. Okay? You have been working so hard to level up in this world. And one of the signs of leveling up, and I know this has been you, your taste is becoming more exquisite and more expensive. But that's a good thing. You're leveling up above James. Yes, James is somewhat stable, but wouldn't you want someone who's more stable than James? Because messing around, that's not very secure. A mess, chaos, destruction, hazards, toxicity. That's what messing around means. You want something that's stable, consistent, loyal, unconditionally loving, caring. How could you ever pass that up? You know? In this day and age, us females, not to be sexist, but us individuals pretty much overall, we're not taught what our worth is. We're taught what the trends are. We're taught, you know, what the 1% thinks we should be. But at the end of the day,
she says he's really jealous that men they like her pics and commenting. I get over 500 likes on my pic from men.
This is what I mean. You're leveling up. You don't want a guy that's jealous. That's toxic. He clearly can't hold his own. He's not secure with himself. He's a mess. Like you said, messing around for 5 years. You've been leveling up within those 5 years. Continue to level up. Really, sweetheart, it's your time to shine. Your glow up is right around the corner. Come on now. You just, please, do this for yourself and do this for yourself. Please leave James alone. And if he contacts you, tell him this. Okay? You tell James, no matter what he says.
Thank you.
Sure thing. And you tell James this. You tell James that you are leveling up in life, that you deserve better. You're going to confront him and tell him cutthroat without being accusatory. I know it's a tough balance, but follow my lead here. You're going to tell him cutthroat if he reaches out to you first. You're going to be like, I deserve better. I see you have a lot to work on with yourself, and that's okay. We clearly are not on the same page in life. Our goals are different. And you're going to talk to him about what that means in a way that's non-accusatory, but make it about yourself. You know, I statements versus you statements. And then you're going to tell him it's okay that you're entitled to feel jealous. You're entitled to feel however it is you feel. I'm not here to assume how you feel. However, I'm proud of what I'm doing, and no one's going to slow me down from being myself and what I love to do, because it is my birthright. Yes, your birthright to live your life as you please. Free will is a birthright. Yes, it is deep, but only the real ones will understand what deep truly means. Whoever's willing to go down to that iceberg and risk it all, those are the real ones, because love means sacrifice. Keep that in your mind. Go confront James for me.
Right.
For yourself.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right.
To the choir there.
James doesn't see the thing too, I wanted to add to what you're talking about value there. And the reason why James doesn't want to let you go is because James sees your value. But if he can devalue you,
that's manipulation.
Then he'll stay on his level, and then he can keep you around.
That's what a lot of people do. It's
exactly. So don't let James devalue you. Allow yourself to be open and free and do what you want, not what he wants. So don't let him take it on his time. Do it on your time.
And if you're truly happy, no matter how angry he gets, he could even bust your door down and you still don't care if you're truly happy with what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And also, side note with money. So when it comes with the money, if you're worried about your financial situation and when you want to be happy, if you need money to contribute something to your happiness, which you do nowadays, but it doesn't define your happiness, so keep that in mind. Let's just say you need like some art supplies to do something to help make you happy, or to fulfill your happiness, like express your happiness. A good way to look at that is if you're questioning, can I afford this? Is it really worth it? That's how you know you made the wrong decision. Don't buy stuff for activities and other things to fulfill your happiness if you're not sure about it. It's a waste of money, but more importantly, it's a waste of your time. So please just follow your heart. At the end of the day, who's going to be there for you? You. Namaste.
All right, good stuff. All right, Deanna, hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, guys, we have come to the half-hour mark, so we're going to take a short break, but after our messages from our sponsors, we'll be back to take more questions. Guys, stay tuned. I'm going to need Gracia to get her question ready, and Jenny, get your question ready, but Gracia, you're next. You're waiting for the commercial.
Yes.
For Central Kentucky's best selection of pets and pet supplies, visit Adventure Pets in Berea. We have one of Central Kentucky's largest selection of fresh and saltwater fish, exotic birds, hamsters, reptiles, puppies, kittens, and more. We carry several lines of premium dog and cat food. We also stock Frontline Plus, Advantage, Capstar, and other products for flea and tick control supplies for dogs and cat health needs. Call us today at 859-985-8001.
Are you looking for the very best website designs? Look no further than mypressmarketing.com. Let their expert staff take your website, phone site, or mobile app to the next level, fast and easy. That's mypressmarketing.com. Why shop anyplace else? Just tell us what you want and we will build it. Why settle for an everyday design? Get a design that stands out from the rest. We can even offer your business radio and magazine advertising. That's mypressmarketing.com. Let us be your advertising, marketing, and website design specialist today.
All right, guys. And we've got a jumper. I need Amy Spencer to go ahead and throw us her question. You are next on the list. And then Victor P., who also jumped, will be right after Amy. So, Amy, go ahead and throw us your question. And guys that I called their names, we got some jumps, so we'll get to your guys' question in just a moment. So, guys, hold on to those questions, and we'll get to you here soon. All right. So,
thank you, guys. Just saying, we graciously thank you.
Absolutely. So, Amy says, Mom got heavy news about her health, and the past couple of weeks, my other family members seem nonchalant or over the top positive in response, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. Am I just that disconnected to not see the positive in such potentially bad situation? Am I wrong for thinking their reaction seems insensitive?
Well, you are more than entitled to how you feel. Let's put it that way. Okay? It's kind of like the saying, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but this is very different. So follow my lead here. So, for example, what may be a big deal to somebody else is very different than what could be a big deal to the other person sitting next to them. You know what I'm saying? You have every right to feel a certain way. If anything, that's a beautiful thing. The importance of allowing yourself to feel something, it's crucial. It's so overlooked in life because we're so used to having all this pride and all this ego of, oh, I'm fine, everything's gonna be okay, I'm invincible, no words can hurt me, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me, this can never touch me, no one can catch me, whatever it is. Well, guess what? It's not like that for anybody. Not just you, okay? You're not alone. You bleed red like everybody else. And what I'm trying to tell you is that allowing your life to fall apart is a beautiful thing. And let me tell you why. Allowing your life to fall apart is allowing yourself to have a rebirth. A new you. A new life. A new happiness. A new ball of wax to, just mold into anything you want to let your world become your oyster. Okay, when you are able to just, sorry, I'm getting emotional because you just have a lot on your mind and it's getting to me.
She says, I've always been the strong one for the family. It just seems like I can't anymore.
And that's okay. Allow yourself to fall apart. I'm going to be raw here right now, okay? Be ready. Make sure you get that Sour Patch in your mouth or take it out, whatever's going to help you here, okay? I'd suggest taking it out for you to listen because it's going to get a little rough here, but nothing personal. It's just not something you're going to be used to hearing, but I'm going to tell you 3, 2, 1. Allowing your life to fall apart is such a beautiful thing. It means there's a rebirth coming your way. It means that there's an old cycle ending. It means that there's change up ahead. And you can't be the old you when there's something new down the road. You can't drive the same darn car you would drive to the gas station and back in Mexico, New York, than what you would be driving into Miami. You know? Think about that. Really think about that. You're leveling up to a whole new level.
There is a phoenix again.
Exactly. You're rising from the ashes. You're not going to stay in those ashes. You're not going to stay unempathetic and spiritually asleep. You're woke. You're spiritually woke. And I don't care what the 1% has to say to me right now. Let them take down this video. But for example, the television. Why do you think it's called television? That's what TVs do. They tell a vision, hidden subliminals. And your family is giving into that. Okay? So, please, allow yourself to fall apart. There's so many people out there spiritually asleep who are not allowing themselves to fall apart because the 1% who has all the power that no one knows about. Okay? So many people on this planet have no clue and will never know that there's this 1% going on that seem to hold all this power and that control most of the world. Okay? When the truth of the matter is we can get all that power back if we awaken ourselves. And I'm here to tell you, Amy, this is your Willy Wonka golden ticket to freedom here, what I'm telling you right now. However, you choose if you want to take it. Your train to the Polar Express awaits if you choose to listen to this message. Understood? I'm being serious with you right now. Yes, I'm a fun, laughable jokester, but this is very important for you. This is your life. This is your mom's health we're talking about here. So, basically...
She goes, wow, did you read my diary? Laugh out loud, love it.
Aww. Who knows? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I'm psychic. Okay, anyways. Enough of that. But yes, I understand. I get where you're coming from, and that's cool. Back to what I was saying. The question is, and you'll know what I'm saying by this, but are you ready? I repeat, are you ready? This is a big change you're about to hit in your life. You're awakening to a new level of empathy, a new level of perception, a new level of being. You're upgrading your worth. You're realizing what you've been chained to. You've realized that your birthrights are getting taken away. Okay? And when it's kind of like, how are you going to break out the prison if you don't let the chains fall apart? You know, how are you going to break out that prison cell that you don't know that you were stuffed away in until you can acknowledge, oh, there were chains on me? Okay, I got to let these fall apart. If you don't let your life fall apart, there will be no growth and there will be no transformation.
She says, yes, you have me in tears and I'm not ready at all, but I can't stop the train.
Get on the Polar Express. I'm giving you your golden ticket. Take that, take that, take that. Like Ralph Smart, go check him out, Infinite Waters. Over 1 million subscribers. Anyways, I'm giving you that golden ticket. Golden energy. Take it. Take that ticket. I am begging you for your own sanity. Take back your birthrights. And I'm talking to everybody that's watching this too. Please take it back. Okay? Don't let the 1% that's partying on a yacht fool you. Okay? We can take all the power back. Okay? It's kind of like with the masks. With COVID-19, with poor George Floyd, rest in peace. A little off topic, but you'll see what I mean in a moment. I can't breathe. Basically saying, they don't want us to breathe. They don't want us to inhale our truth. Okay? They're keeping us locked in. All right? Locked into one mindset. One mouth, one mask, breathing in one space. Think about that. Okay? We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And the 1% is trying to let you know the opposite. They're trying to fool you. They're trying to BS you right now. Okay? You have 1 of these for a reason. You have 2 of these for a reason. And these 2 things can take you a lot farther than this. And I just wanted to say, Amy, congratulations on realizing that. That's a sign that you have awakened and you are going to the next level. Because if you don't understand that you only have one mouth and two ears for a reason, you will not level up in life. Ever. I want all y'all to hear that right now. You will not level up in life ever if you don't hear that. People will hate you. People will despise you. People will turn their back. People will even be calling the police on you. The Karens will be coming your way. Okay? All because you're spiritually woke. And that's a beautiful thing because you're allowing your life to fall apart. And, you know, it's okay to say, I can't go on any longer. What matters is that you don't quit. There's a big difference between saying pause versus game over. Think about that. Because when you say game over, you're killing yourself, and we're not doing that. Pause. Allow your life to fall apart. Scream, kick, throw things when you're in your room by yourself. Get some smash therapy at one of your local, smash therapy places where they literally allow you to break glass and break old televisions and break cars. Do it. Let yourself fall apart. Make sure, because if you truly know what love is, do it for yourself. If you can't love yourself unconditionally, nobody else will, and you won't know how to love anyone else. Truth said and done. Honestly, guys, don't let the TV fool you. Don't let society fool you, because they've only been sugarcoating it more and more and more. I mean, look at the food industry. They sugarcoat. Where do you think that quote comes from, everyone? Amy, I know this is your reading, so I'm talking to you the most here. I'm not talking about your physical health in particular at this moment. However, I do see your stomach does need help. I feel like animal products are not sitting well with you. But anyways, about that.
She said, thank you very much. You spoke to my heart and my soul. I have a hard time letting myself fall apart.
Do it now. You will not get on the Polar Express train and get that golden ticket to believing the promised land. Not the biblical one, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not Jesus. I'm not a prophet. It's just the idea that the promised land, in this case, is your truth. Get to your truth. And if you don't believe until you take the lie out of believe, you will get nowhere. Okay? Get that golden ticket and don't let that slide out your hands. Please. I'm giving it to you right now. Don't let the 1% bust down your door and what? Come on, just take the golden ticket. Take the ride. Sneak on that train. I'm begging you. Romeo and Juliet can wait. Okay? Namaste.
All right, good.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was a heavy heart. When a heavy heart comes through, there's a lot to deal with. And it takes, strong message to get that out. So
sometimes I forget that I'm an old soul.
Well, you guys all know what that means. We got a jumper.
I feel on fire tonight.
Good stuff. All right.
That's a great way to be welcomed back. I love it.
Absolutely. All right. We need Victor P. to go ahead and throw his question. Victor, you are up. Let's check the jump list to see if we have anybody else before I continue to call out some names that are going down the list.
I have a feeling we have quite a few on the jump list right now.
All right. So, Gracia, get your question ready. You'll be after Victor. Okay. Victor says, Faith mentioned tools and not being able to fix things. I think she was referring to fixing up the house and possibly renting or selling them or going along with one of the other things I wanted to do. I want to do, which is buying houses and fixing them and flipping them. Is that it? I realize I have a few doors open with things I wanted to do, but I could possibly just sell houses and move to Alaska and do the other things I want to do with animals. Do you see these things happening or working out? Well, Victor, I'm going to point this out. remember, Emma is not the one who gave you that part of that reading. So that is Faith part of the reading. So if she doesn't touch base on that, that's because it wasn't her something that she saw. So she's going to give you what she sees, but I'm going to turn the mic over to Emma. Take it away, Emma.
Okay, Victor, I just wanted to start off by saying you have such a gentle soul. Beneath it all, you just have such a tender, innocent heart. And I just wanted to say I'm very sincerely, very sorry for all the trauma and the unfair treatment that you went through. You didn't deserve any of that. From the bullies in school, from the family drama, from the family problems, from, even issues that may have gone on in the courtroom. And all the obstacles you faced, all because you're a good soul, because you have a good heart, because you're a soldier.
Is that 100% understandable?
Yeah. Sometimes the vague ones are the best ones, Sometimes it's better to get straight to the point instead of being wishy-washy, confusing it with a bunch of words, back to the spiritual awakening, but in your case. They'll get so wishy-washy. They'll say a bunch of things that don't mean a thing. They'll say on TV, they'll say on the news, people will lecture you for a good 2 hours nonstop, right? Until their throat goes dry. If it does. And, with you, you speak the truth. You speak it sincerely, very angelically. And what you do is you're a miracle worker when it comes to animals. I gotta say that. Animals adore you. They love you. You've saved a lot of lives. You've preserved a lot of lives. So I graciously thank you for that from a vegetarian here. It just, for you, your animal job, it is needed. You have been sent here to work with animals because animals are family too. They also bleed red just like us humans do. That rhymed. But there's a lot about, even animals bleed red and they're creatures of God too. They're also spiritual beings having a, human experience, as they say, but having an experience as an animal. Instead of on 2 legs, 4 legs, with more fur. But those animals, they really need your help, especially, with hurricane season and the tornadoes and, just all this abnormal weather that we've been having and with the snow and the flooding that will be coming up soon this year, and given global warming due to, people having a lack of being spiritually woke. We'll get to that in a second. You really need to get out there. The animals are begging for you. They're dying for you. Those animals are dying for you, literally on the street. I was on Facebook the other day, and I
totally agree that they are on the universe just like us. I feel like I'm here to protect them.
Yes. Do it. You were called here for a very special reason. Most people cannot sympathize with animals. So many people think they'll talk down upon their pets. They'll talk down upon the animals they work with at the farm. And they totally forget, due to human selfishness and lack of spiritual awakening, that animals have feelings too, just like humans. Animals have opinions. They're entitled to them. They have instincts. They go to the bathroom just like us. They need food. They need shelter. They need water just like us. And it's so overlooked every day. So many people don't seem to realize within the food that we eat, when we kill those animals, when we slaughter them, as they say, and when you pump them with steroids and stuff, and put chemicals in their body to make them grow larger. For example, chicken breasts. They make chickens grow twice as fast in 48 days because people like white meat instead of dark meat. Excuse me. And basically, they pump it with so much steroids, like an assembly line. And, those poor chickens, they can't even take 2 steps. And basically, it mutates the genetics. I know, a little bit of Science 101 here, but you'll see what I mean. It mutates the genetics because that's what trauma does. Chemicals like that aren't natural for us, that are not nature's candy, as I say. Obviously, not about the drugs. I'm talking about the stuff we can eat, no problem, that are organic. Obviously, when you're traumatized or when something is traumatized, dead or alive, even if it kills them instantly afterwards, those genes, that DNA that's in that meat or that milk, by the way, milk is for baby cows, just so you know, it's not technically meant for us humans. Big alert. Basically, when you slaughter an animal and they're already pumped with all the steroids, those genetics are already mutated and traumatized. And once you slaughter them, they're 100 times more traumatized, even though they're dead. Okay, because of what the suffering they had to go through before, and the suffering that of being scared about going onto the kill floor in the factory, where even workers are abused.
So I'd rather deal with animals instead of people. If they bite or get defensive, that literally in their nature. Humans, on the other hand, screw people over without a care in the world.
Exactly. So what does that say about animals? I'm telling you your calling right now, my friend, and I'm giving you a lot of spiritual advice about this so that you know what you got to take with you. And watch Food Inc. Very important thing to watch. The most terrifying thing you'll ever watch when it comes to nutrition. I guarantee you that. It's terrifying, but it is so worth it. Okay? Basically, it's just back to the genetics thing. It mutates the genetics in the animal, the trauma, just like how it does with us humans. When we're traumatized, it mutates our DNA, it mutates our genetics, and it gets passed down. So the same thing happens. Let's say you eat chicken, right? And that chicken's been slaughtered. It's been stuck in a, dark vented room its whole life from the moment it hatched. And keep in mind, it was inside the chicken too, and it's like a cycle. So basically, it mutates the genetics with all the chemicals and all the steroids. That's why babies are so fat when they're born now, is because of those steroids and because of those mutated genetics. And spoiler alert, listening, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? All right, cool. Especially you, Victor, because this is your calling. So I especially need you to turn the TV up, whatever I'm on, turn it up and tell everybody else to please be quiet, because this is something you must know. I'm going to leak some very special information that you need to know. Are you ready? Okay. There's been a lot, and I mean a lot of research that has gone so overlooked and swept under the rug so much because of spiritual awakening. Autism, mental health struggles, ADHD, bipolar, BPD, ODD, OCD, a lot of that, and all those other diagnoses branch off of it. So much of that is caused by food and what they pump in the food. I hope you know that. Because someone like me who struggles with mental health struggles themselves, everybody does to a certain extent, but someone who's had a lot of labels put on them from the book and all that, I noticed when I went vegetarian, a lot of my symptoms started to subside a lot, and they have been. I've noticed that, since I stopped eating meat about 4 years ago, my symptoms are slowly starting to get better, along with my maturity, allowed my brain to mature even more too. And I'm going to go to completely vegan and organic soon enough and go gluten-free. Because health is wealth. Health is wealth. If you're not happy in here, you can't be rain. You can't have that. And also, it's especially the milk with autism, okay? Let the 1% get mad, let them rip their hair out, and let them bust down my door. I'll live, okay? Anyways, for example, in the milk, there's been a lot of research, so much holistic research, a lot of Eastern medicine that has proven this. That what they put in the milk and in the dairy contributes to autism in children and in adults too. It causes autism. And a lot of the things that cause these disabilities, a lot of the things that, you know, cause these mental health struggles, it's not your fault because you didn't know. Your birthrights were hidden from you, you know? But I'm here to let you know you can change this. There's actually a cure to these things. Ta-da! There is a cure, guys. I promise you. You can't see it straight. The cure to this is, number 1, law of attraction. Number 2, self-discipline. Number 3, let food be thy medicine. Number 4, natural supplements, meditation. It's right in front of your face. It's literally right under your nose. Take off your mask. Yeah, you. Look. Okay? Just 2 of these, 1 of this. I mean, come on. Stop listening to the TV. No, even when, and at the same time, even when your voice shakes and trembles, tell the truth, you know? Even if your voice shakes, let the truth be known, let the truth be told. Swallow your pride. Let it all out. We can take the power back, guys, and we're going to do it starting right here, right now. You guys need to get your rights back. And if we got to overthrow some nasty people, okay. You know,
we're going to some research about the animal, like you said, and that hate and abuse goes in the nest. Then people consume it and consume the energy and don't realize it.
Ding, 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 ding. I mean, look at that. That's why people become so, you know, unempathetic and become so cruel themselves. It's because they're eating that trauma and that mutates their genetics. And trauma changes the way you think. It transforms the shape of your brain and your molecules and your neurons. And when that happens, and on top of it, you're drinking milk, which can cause autism, high cholesterol, weight gain. And I hope you guys know that most of the fat on your body, that saturated fat, is terrible for you. You know, when you're reading the back of a label and it says low sugar, turn that label around for me. It says, you know how it says, 20 grams of sugar, added sugar, 38 grams. Don't do it. They put it on a small label for a reason, because they know you're not going to read it. Because they make it so colorful, they make it so grand. They put it at the bottom shelf for kids for a reason. Okay, they put all the colorful, fun little tricks, bunny and the Danimals, monkey, and all that for a reason. They want kids to fall for it too, because they know it starts out young. But we can do the same too. You know? Self-discipline, love. Love is the almighty weapon. Self-love. You know? I mean, come on. Spiritual awakening and love is the best weapon you got in your pocket. And it's with you wherever you go, because you're a spiritual being, have a human experience. Save the animals. We need to save our earth, guys, because greed is killing our planet. I saw a billboard sign just the other day about that. So, guys, we got to have a serious talk about this. We need to have a night where we just talk about stuff like this. But Victor, please, save the animals, and please help people with disabilities spiritually awaken for sure, because you know, people that have been vaccinated. Let me leak the truth. Don't panic, though, guys. It's good that you have the vaccine to a certain extent, but it also can stop you from spiritual awakening if you aren't aware of what's going on. So it's the truth's in the middle, okay? It can protect you from certain things, because when enough people believe something, it manifests, and that's what happened with the virus here. Okay, but it's good to know we have protection from other illnesses, but at the same time, we really need to worry about ourselves and taking care of our birthrights and living a happy life, and not letting the television tell a vision get to us and send subliminal messages. There are so many wonderful subliminals that you can find on YouTube for free, from skinny legs to, you know, curing autism. Even I found some for curing autism, and oh my gosh, those people are speaking wonders about how amazing those subliminals are. So if the TV can do it to you, if trash TV can do that to you, so can YouTube with putting on, happy subliminals about reprogramming your brain to be happy. Haven't you noticed that when you listen to, a certain show over and over again, or you listen to, whatever the case may be, it reprograms your mind, and you see how like you get aggravated at first because your brain's creating new neural pathways. But once it's used to it, it's used to it. But keep in mind, when you're trying to think more positively, you're going to be aggravated for a couple of days, and that's okay. That's how you know it's working, because your brain is creating new neural pathways, and it's awakening, it's leveling up. So Victor, please go help those animals do the same, because they bleed red just like us, and they have birthrights just like us, the same thing. Thank you.
All right.
That was a lot.
Yep. We're going to take a quick break. And guys, remember, we'll be getting to some more questions here. The next person is Gracia. Get your question ready. After Gracia is going to be Jenny. You're on the list. So get your question ready, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Are you looking for the very best website designs? Look no further than mypressmarketing.com. Let their expert staff take your website, phone site, or mobile app to the next level, fast and easy. That's mypressmarketing.com. Why shop anyplace else? Just tell us what you want and we will build it. Why settle for an everyday design? Get a design that stands out from the rest. We can even offer your business radio and magazine advertising. That's mypressmarketing.com. Let us be your advertising, marketing, and website design specialist today.
For Central Kentucky's best selection of pets and pet supplies, visit Adventure Pets in Berea. We have one of Central Kentucky's largest selection of fresh and saltwater fish, exotic birds, hamsters, reptiles, puppies, kittens, and more. We carry several lines of premium dog and cat food. We also stock Frontline Plus, Advantage, Capstar, and other products for flea and tick control supplies for dogs and cat health needs. Call us today at 859-985-8001.
And we're going to keep on going here. The next person on the list was Gracia. Gracia, go ahead and throw us your question. And then Jenny, you're on the block. So go ahead, Gracia, throw us your question. Guys, remember the free questions are 3 minutes long and jumps are as long as the message needs to take in order to come out. Gracia. And don't forget, guys, $1 of these donations are going to Salvation Army for families in need for Turkey Day. So we are trying to raise as much money as possible to get those turkeys to those families. Right now we are at $46 for the month, and hopefully we can raise a lot more. All right, no Gracia, let's keep on going. Go to the next person in line. Jenny, throw us your question. And then Kate Walker, get your question ready. Jenny.
Jenny from the block.
Mm-hmm. Which block is that? The good one.
A-team.
Exactly. All right, Jenny, are you with us?
Jenny to Earth. I think she went to Mercury.
Oh, that's not a good place right now. It's in retrograde.
No. Maybe she lost track, her train of thought, you know?
Oh,
It's
it
okay.
happened.
Everybody does it.
All right, I'm not seeing Jenny. So come on, Kate Walker, go ahead and throw us your question. And then Sarah Lee, get your question ready. Kate Walker. Oh, that just reminds me. I was on the show with Jacob, and he said Walker, Texas Ranger, and the only thing I could think of, and it wasn't even. I can't stand Chuck Norris, so. But I thought, Family Guy popped in my head, and I was like, roundhouse to the face. It was just funny, and
now you're reminding me of the Simpsons.
That's why I
all of their
that's
stuff.
why I was chuckling and laughing, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I remember that conversation. All right. Well, Sarah Lee, go ahead and throw us your question. Sarah Lee.
Are
Guys,
these
you gotta
free
stick
readings?
around. Yes. I'll put the jump thing up so you know when there's a jump. That way you...
Sure. I'm just confused.
Yeah, no, that way so you guys know. Someone just said I heard church. Victor did.
Church? What about church?
I have no idea. He said he heard church. Oh, I heard Chuck Norris can put out a fire with gasoline. Well, that's nice. I still don't like him. All right, no Sarah Lee. Let's keep on going, guys. All right, Serena, go ahead. Throw us your question. Serena W. And then Rita M. Get your question ready. Check the jump list while we do that. All right. All right, here is Serena. She says, hello. When will we move? Good question.
Well, it seems like you're very eager. I can tell you're on the edge of your seat. For sure. Absolutely. I definitely see you moving within a year. Wherever it is you may want to go. I can tell you've been working for this for a very long time, so I very much congratulate you on that. It definitely seems like you want to go to a bigger house, and you want to be able to find a place that feels more like home, because I feel like most of your life you haven't really found a place that feels like home. And that's okay. Home is where the heart is, though, so keep that in mind. That's a big message that's coming through for me right now. For you is that don't put the cart before the horse. Okay? Enjoy the present moment and find your heart. You got to be home with yourself, because home is where the heart is. Home is everywhere you go as long as you have your real self with you. Okay? There's a lot of distorted self-image going on tonight with everybody in general. And people pleasing and all that. It's toxic. Excuse me. But we're here to fix that, aren't we, guys? Okay, Serena, back to you. It just seems like you're very busy worrying about the next thing. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen a week from now? Even what's going to happen 10 minutes from now. Spirit is saying, stop. Slow down. Okay, Spirit is telling you to slow down, stop and smell the roses, and just breathe. Be still. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling? You know, what can you enjoy and celebrate right now? Every day is a celebration. Yesterday was history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. celebrate everything.
Says, yes, I need a bigger home away from the city. I am constantly going.
Yes, I can tell. You live a very intense life. It's a very stereotypical global run to the next thing. Sprint to the next destination. Bolt down the road. It's not the way we're meant to be living. It can be fun, but even throughout all that eustress, which is like the stress that causes like excitement, joy, that's a whole different type of stress. But when you come down from that plummet, what are you going to do? Because when the eustress is over, you feel like garbage. So we need to find a way for you to still enjoy your fast-paced lifestyle, but living it in the moment. And when the rise and the fall hits, you can land slowly like an airplane instead of just a plummet. And that's something I'm working on too with myself. But anyways, you really got to make sure that the answer is within you, okay? You'll find a way. Breathe and be at peace. Namaste.
All right. Good stuff here. Let's keep on rocking it. Our next person on our list is Rita M. Rita, go ahead and throw us your question. Catherine, you're on the list, so get your question ready. And while we do that, I'm going to check the jump list here. Make sure that we're not missing out because, guys, we got about 20 minutes left for you guys to jump. And Serena said, okay, thank you.
Sure thing, Serena. Thank you for your question.
All right, Rita M. Break it on down. Throw us that question. All right. So no Rita. Catherine, go ahead and throw us your question.
Come on down, Catherine. Walk the runway for us.
Strut that stuff.
Exactly. Have you been practicing your catwalk?
Unique says, I love the sound of your water fountain. Thank you. I do too. You know that spirits use natural noise in a room in order to speak to you. So when doing mediumship, I love it if the spirit is capable of doing it, because when you're giving someone a mediumship reading and their voice comes from the sound.
Like an EVP reader.
Kind of. And
in a way.
It allows them to be able to use that noise to speak through. And I've watched it touch so many people's hearts and freak them out at the same time, because then they hear their loved one's voice and they're like, did you? Like, it wasn't me. It's the fountain. Plus, it's also calming. And I'm a water sign, so having water running is absolutely wonderful.
I'm an air sign.
Right. She says, I heard they travel through water too. Yes, they do.
Water holds energy, therefore.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Michelle L., since Catherine's not coming forth, let's go ahead with Michelle L. Go ahead and throw us your question. Stancia. And I don't know how to say that name. We'll post it. You're next. Your last name starts with a J. I can't say it correctly. Stancian? I don't know. I'm not pronouncing it well. But we do have Michelle L. here with her question. Michelle says, when will be a good time for me to purchase a home, preferably a new building?
Okay. I definitely see you want to flip the house that you want to buy. Like, I don't know why, but it seems like you're just going to want to make over another building, because I feel like you like to decorate. Purchasing a new home, I feel like now is not a good time, because you need to work on yourself. There's a lot of you guys just worry about yourself. Work on you. Work on your spirit and your soul and your mindfulness. Work on your happiness, because you won't know what you want at all until you're happy with who you are and yourself and your choices. Until you can stop worrying about what other people think, you guys will not be happy. I'm not sick and tired of saying it. It's just I care a lot about you guys, and I just really want to get it through to you that everybody here just needs to be happy with who they are. And I feel like with you, Michelle, you have a really good heart. It's in the right place. We just need to make sure that it's working from the inside out. Like you're happy within your heart so you can listen to yourself more and what you want so you can find the right place. Oh, excuse me. Still recovering from that cold. I can definitely see with like your housing. You're not sure where home is. But like I said with Serena, home is where the heart is. And you're still working on that, and that's okay. Everybody's in a different place in their spiritual journey. And I feel like that's something you just gotta learn to accept as your own person like anybody else. You know? And you have your own past life just like how everybody else has their own past life and all that. Each experience is uniquely different, and that's what's beautiful about it. And I feel like you're having a hard time embracing your unique experience. Yes, you will move eventually. However, it's up to you as to when you move. However, here's your catch. You need to work on you and loving yourself and knowing what truly brings you joy, or else the move is not going to happen when you want it to happen. Divine timing is a big deal in your life right now. Let's be real. Divine timing is a big deal. And it's going to be, I know it's not going to exactly be the best pill to swallow right now, but you'll thank me later when you do. Okay? Take the Polar Express train, take your magic glitter pill, swallow it whole, and watch it heal you, okay? Namaste. Only you can take that glitter pill. It's worth it. Take the unicorn pill.
All right. Good stuff, guys. We're going to keep it moving, and I'm going to say Stancy Ann, if that's correct. If I'm not
Stacey
saying it.
Ann.
Huh?
Stacey Ann.
Stacey Ann? Okay.
Yeah, like Stacey and then Ann.
Yeah. Gotcha. 10-4.
Roger that.
She says, thank you with a heart.
Of course, sure thing.
Stacey Ann, come on down. You are next on the list. And after that is Tammy Hill. So Tammy, get your question ready, but do not post it. And guys, I'm going to check the jump list to see if we have any jumpers, just in case. And guys, in about 30 minutes, we're going to tell you guys who the winner is of tonight's drawing. Very exciting. Got to win some stuff, guys. Got to win that stuff. It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, I don't see Stacey Ann, so I'm going to keep on going here. The next person was Tammy Hill. Tammy, go ahead and throw us your question. P.S. service, you're on the list, so get your question ready.
The fun name is back.
The fun name. Dun,
yes,
dun, dun. I need to get some more sound effects. I like playing with those. I want to say thank you guys for the jumpers that we had tonight. We do appreciate it. We are able to donate to our charity, and it helps keep the show alive. So we do appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
And you get more spiritual awakening as well. You get more info.
Jennifer, I don't consider a past life or an ancestral question to be a mediumship reading, but because you're not really tapping into a different spirit. Because if you're doing past life, you're looking at yourself, so you're looking at the one spirit. But if you're asking an ancestral question in the way of wanting to talk to a loved one, then yes. But ancestral readings too can also just be looking back at the past and referring that information to you. So again, not talking to a spirit necessary, but it definitely connects with your psychic ability and how far back you can go. Because, the further you go back, the more hazy it gets, because you're only so damn strong. Victor, I didn't see it just yet, so let me get a second to check it out, and I'll let you know. What's that?
Does he need something?
Oh, he asked if a jump went through and it hasn't gone through yet. And Jennifer says, thank you for the clarification. If that's a question that you have, is that something you'd be willing to do? Is an ancestral or a past life? I'm asking you, Emma.
What?
Ancestral or past life, are those a question that you would be able to answer?
Yes. The only thing that I don't really like answering is like lost objects and missing people. I mean, I am capable of answering like lost objects and missing people, but I hate it. Like the idea of a missing loved one, and ew, no.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking. I don't like missing objects or lost.
I've had to work with the police department many times to find lost people. I was in the newspaper a couple times.
Yeah, if I absolutely have to, if I feel like that person really needs it, I will. But if it's someone,
well, they kind of caught me off guard because they actually called me on the website and I wasn't prepared for it. And they're like, "Hi," and I was like, "Oh, hi."
If someone really needs it, of course I'll do it. But if it seems like someone who's just doing it because they feel they need to, not because they want to, I'll be like, nah, I'll pass. But if it's truly,
All right, well, let's see if Victor's jump went through, and I'll tell you guys that in just a second as the refresh comes through. So let me know who's on the list. All right. Michelle L. jumped before Victor, but then Victor jumped right after. Michelle, are you here?
Michelle, are you with us?
I think she has another question for you.
Yay.
And Victor, yes, it went through. You're after Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle and Victor. Very much so appreciated. The Salvation Army thanks you too.
Exactly right.
And so do those families.
All right. She says, thanks, girl. That was Jennifer, who was talking about the past life and stuff like that.
Sure thing. And guys, just so you know, I am willing to do lost objects and missing people. However, just be careful on what you ask in terms of that stuff. If it's absolutely necessary, I'll do it. Right. However, don't do it as a joke. That's all I ask.
Michelle is here. She says, I am. Michelle, go ahead with your question. She says, I would love to hear anything from my father.
Perfect. Your father seems like a really sweet guy. He seems like he's like a very gentle soul, like Michael Jackson or Prince, like, very gentle soul, very like a popular loner. Introverted, but everybody just loved the guy. He seems like that person who he walks into a room and everybody would just stop and stare and just smile and the world would just be at peace. And he's saying that sometimes your temper can get to you internally. He says, you get the introvertedness from me, he said. And he says that, sometimes he sees that you're about ready to explode emotionally. And he's like, he really wants you to just sometimes take some time to simmer down, take a deep breath, and relax. Okay? He's basically letting you know that he's with you and that you can always, give the universe a phone call and to forward it to him if you need help with your anger or your frustration. Even though he says you rarely feel anger, he says when you do, because he says he knows you're not used to it. He says that he's like you because you get that from him. He's not used to being angry, but he says when he did get angry, when he was still here, he wouldn't know what to do with himself. Like he said, I don't know what I would do with myself when I get angry because I almost never get angry. And I can relate to this too. I almost never get angry unless it's my mother. But that's a story for a different day. Anyways, this is about you. With you, he just says, when you're about ready to lose your cool, just picture my smiling face. The same way you did when you were a baby. Whenever you get upset or get mad about something and how I would smile at you and talk you down. Replay that in your mind. And I'm getting there's a specific quote he'd say to you, or he would make a certain motion or a certain way he would give you a hug. Something about him hugging you felt great. Like when he'd wrap his arms around your shoulders and just hug you. And you seemed like you were definitely a daddy's little girl in a beautiful way. And he misses that. He says he's still in your heart. He's in the 5D watching over you. He says he still wishes he was here in the 3D to spend those moments with you in person, but he said that you'll be reunited with him someday. Just not now. He says you need to live your life to the fullest. Please. And he said, even though it's really pathetic of me to say, he said, do as I say, not as I did. In a lot of cases. He was very hard on himself. But he said for the mistakes he made and he chose not to fix, he said, practice what you preach. But he said, do as I say, not as I did. And he says, I know it's awful. It's really terrible and irresponsible of me to do. And he says, I'm sorry that I did not take responsibility for the things that I should have done better when I was here in the 3D. And he says he's not in a bad place, okay? He just had a lot to learn when he passed away, and he had to and because he's now reincarnated into somebody else, past lives. And he's saying that person now has to pay off that karma a little bit, but the karma's not bad. It's not going to hurt the person, okay? He says he's watching over that person. But he said that he feels terrible now that someone else has to pay off his past life karma. However, he said he really needs to apologize to his little girl and say, chin up, you're going to be okay. And he says, if for the things I put you through that were unnecessary, I apologize, and I should have before I died. And he says, there are so many things that I left unsaid that didn't come out until I died. And he says, I'm sorry that I wasn't honest with you, because I talked a lot about honesty and I never made up for it. And that's the worst thing a human being could do, is talk about honesty but never mean it. So what's the point, he said. He says, so please learn from what I didn't do right, and please learn from my mistakes, because that's what a wise woman does. Back to you, Journey.
All right, Michelle, she says.
That's a lot.
He was in pain when he passed.
A little bit, but then when he died, he was okay.
All right. Well.
He's good. He's happy.
His spirit is settled for sure.
Absolutely. He's just saying, learn from what I didn't do right. Be wise, pretty much.
He had one last message for his wife. And the only thing he said to that right before, you disconnected, and I heard it, was, I didn't mean everything I said.
Well, yeah, that's the point.
And I think the pain was his trigger. So he said some things that he probably shouldn't have said to her, or maybe treated her a certain way, but he said, the things that he said. So I grabbed that heart pain right away. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, thank you.
As he came through the door, I was like, damn it. All right. Well, guys, we're going to take that quick break, but after we come back from the break, Victor P is going to ask a question. He jumped the list, so we'll be right back after these messages.
Perfect.
For Central Kentucky's best selection of pets and pet supplies, visit Adventure Pets in Berea. We have one of Central Kentucky's largest selection of fresh and saltwater fish, exotic birds, hamsters, reptiles, puppies, kittens, and more. We carry several lines of premium dog and cat food. We also stock Frontline Plus, Advantage, Capstar, and other products for flea and tick control supplies for dogs and cat health needs. Call us today at 859-985-8001.
Are you looking for the very best website designs? Look no further than mypressmarketing.com. Let their expert staff take your website, phone site, or mobile app to the next level, fast and easy. That's mypressmarketing.com. Why shop anyplace else? Just tell us what you want and we will build it. Why settle for an everyday design? Get a design that stands out from the rest. We can even offer your business radio and magazine advertising. That's mypressmarketing.com. Let us be your advertising, marketing, and website design specialist today.
All right, guys, and we are back. We're back. All right, guys. And 15, yeah, you're going to add to that. We got 15 minutes before we announce the winner. So, guys, get ready for that. And we need Victor P to go ahead and throw us his question since he
jumped the list.
So I got to get to the button faster than this. Ta-da! Don't worry, guys. That is actually going to be on the screen when the person who jumped is on there. So everybody knows that they are the ones that jumped and the attention's on them. And there'll be a cute little noise to go along with it. I'm not getting fast enough with it yet, but it's new. So let's keep going here. Victor says, I, too, would also like to know if my father has any messages for me.
Sure. It seems like your father, he was quirky, but in a very beautiful, unique way. He had his own little thing. You know, maybe some collectibles. Maybe he had his own way of doing things, but that's what made him such a unique, awesome person. He seemed like a rocking, awesome person because of how unique and outside of the box he is. Because here we go, spiritual awakening. Open your ears, Victor. You're going to love what I have to say. Really, you will. He says that, he's very proud of you, and he says, thank you so much for keeping an open mind that most of this world is not capable of. Because he said people are becoming progressively more selfish as time progressively moves on. And the world is only going to get more toxic from here. And we need to learn, for the ones that choose to become spiritually woke, to stand up for ourselves and take what is ours back. And he's telling you that he didn't do that, and he feels a lot of regret in that sense. He's at peace. Don't get me wrong. He's okay. He's happy in the afterlife. All right? He's okay. He's okay. He's just saying when it comes to his 3D life that he lived, he felt a sense of emptiness when it came to his spiritual awakening. And once again, it's very different than Michelle's, but this is about you. And let me tell you why this one is very different. He says, please learn from what I didn't do right. But that's part of being wise, is learning from other people's mistakes. Even though his mistake is very different than, the other reading. He said that I didn't live my life to the fullest. I didn't celebrate each day. My mindset was down the drain at times, he said, more often than it should have been. And I should have just told you. And I should have just...
I've been wanting to hear that he is proud of me for so long.
Aw. I feel like a weight was just lifted off your shoulders. And he said, I should have told you. But he said that I should have swallowed my pride. I was so selfish to not even consider my own son when I was so down in negativity that was about myself when I should have been there for my son. He said he knew better. He just had too much pride and ego to admit it at the time. And he says he feels very sorry, and he gives you a hug. He says, even though I know the spiritual hug.
He says it was.
Yes. He says, even though that hug isn't enough, even though that apology isn't enough, he says, please just don't repeat what I did, because he says wise ones learn from other people's mistakes. And he said, please grow to be wiser than me. He said, I'm sorry for trying to live through you. I'm sorry for trying to, knock you down when I saw you were thriving above me. I should have just let you thrive, and I should have cheered you on instead of being passive aggressive with you and getting angry at your successes. I should just stop saying, oh, I'm worried about your safety, when in reality it's called don't break my ego, when he was here in the 3D. He seemed like he's saying that, you know, he's sorry for breaking your heart, and he's sorry for making, especially your love life and your career path, a saga of its own. He said that, you know, you have such a big heart, and I almost threw it down the toilet, and I'm very sorry. And he says he takes responsibility for that. He says his past life self is paying off the karma, and he says even though this person is going to be strong and handle it okay, he just said in order to reduce this person's karma,
I forgave him.
That's good. Be proud of yourself for that, Victor. That takes a lot. Most people can not even know what the word forgive even means anymore. It's just like, it's heavy because he said, I appreciate you knowing how to forgive because I didn't know how to forgive myself. And I didn't know how to forgive, period, he said. He said he was so selfish to the point he couldn't even think about forgiving himself, let alone forgiving other people, equally as importantly. And he said, if you don't know how to forgive yourself, you can't forgive anybody else. He said, I was my worst enemy. Every morning, he said, when I wake up, I bully myself in the mirror. He said, there would be times I want to just break the mirror and scream. That's how much I hated my own reflection. But he said, thanks to you, knowing that I brought you into this world, in a sense, that you kept me going. He said, even though I was one of your biggest haters, even though I shouldn't have been, you kept me going. Because at the end of the day, haters are your biggest fans, he said. And he said, I should have been a dad instead of a hater. He said, I learned a lot from you. And he said, I feel like you were here to teach me instead of me teaching you. And he thanks you for that. He said, I know I was a really crappy father in a sense. And there's a lot of things I kept from you about my self-esteem and how I viewed myself and how I talked about myself and some of the things I shouldn't have even said about you, some of the flaws I projected on you. So I wouldn't have to take responsibility for it, he said. And he said, I was so spiritually asleep to the point I couldn't even swallow my own pride, let alone know what that meant. He, you know, he's crying a little bit right now because he feels like he let you down. And he says, I appreciate the fact that you forgive me. However, I know me saying sorry will never be enough. Because, you know, he says that the motivation behind the action speaks the most, for sure. And that's something that's very overlooked. And he said, I remember back when I'd say sorry to you as a kid and I didn't mean it, and at the time. And he would say, you know, I only did it just to protect myself, not because I was truly sorry in that moment, but he says he's sorry now. And he says he wished he could just take all that back and make it better. And he said that, you know, please don't do what I did wrong. Please don't repeat the same problems that I had, and please don't continue this karmic cycle in the family. They're called generational curses is what they're called. And he said, please break it. It's gone on in the family too long. He says that there's just too much toxicity in the family, and it's up to you to break that cycle. You're the only hope for this family.
I'm his sorry is enough. Is very enough.
Okay, good. I'm just telling you what he's telling me to give to you. That's all. He said that, you know, please, it's up to you to break the curse in the family, the generational karmic cycle, this cycle. And he said, it's up to you to break it or no one's going to break it. And he said, you know, you can change the world. You won't be able to get to everybody, he said. But you would be amazed on how much just being yourself will change the world and how much more people will respect you. Because he says a lot of people have that BS radar, you know. And a lot of people, they're very intuitive. They can see right through, you know, somebody to see, like, especially online nowadays, you know, on TikTok and stuff, for example. You know,
he says, I know since my certain things happened with my aunt, I would be the one to break the cycle. Says, yes. I lived with that for years and felt crazy for that.
Yeah. So it really helped you spiritually awaken in a sense. Sometimes you have to go through hell to know how to break hell. Let's face it, you have to go through hell to know how to vanish hell. And, you know, if you don't know how something works, you can't you can't talk about things you don't know. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying that, you know, just please, I beg you to, you know, love yourself. He says, even if you don't love me, just love yourself first, he said. And he said that, you know, there's that quote from Wreck-It Ralph playing in my head again out of nowhere. It has to do with, like, there's good and evil in everyone. So listen to it closely and I'll explain it in a second. There's a quote in Wreck-It Ralph, the movie, that says, I am bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's good. But there's no one I'd rather be than me. Let me repeat that. I am bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's good. But there's no one I'd rather be but me. In other words, in this case, for this particular context, that not everyone's going to like you. There are people who will turn you away and push you around and hate you with a passion and waste their life on that. And there will be people who will try and get others to gang up on you and mock you and hate you just for being a bright light of sunshine. You know, I know how that goes, but this is about you right now. There are miserable people view light as bad because it brings out their darkness, you know? And that's why the quote says, I am bad and that's good. You know, because people may view that as bad, but it's good to know that you're being yourself. And to some people, it will never be good, but it's good that you love yourself and that you are being you. Because everyone else is taken, Victor. You only got you. There's only one of you that will ever walk this earth, and don't waste your time trying to be somebody else. You could easily, just as a very easy example, you could be the next animal rescuer TikTok star, you know, just by being yourself. Because people will see right through that. People will know on TikTok, for example, it's just a very easy example. People on TikTok know when you're trying to pretend to be someone you're not, or trying to be just like the other star, you know, that they just saw on their For You page. And your dad is saying that don't be like every other person on TikTok who just does it for the shock value. Go on a place like TikTok, he said, and be your true self. It will take you many, many places. And the amount of people that will respect you, you'll get respect from people you least expect to get respect from on TikTok. For example, when you're just being yourself and being honest and humble and modest. I mean, it's just, especially with the animal rescuing stuff, when people see that you're humble and modest and that you have morals, you'd be amazed on how many of them will.
Does he know I'm sorry? Does he know I'm sorry for him and I getting aggressive with each other right before he passed? I never meant to say I want to hit you. He was being a pain in the butt, and I lost my temper, and I'm sorry.
He knows that you're sorry, and he said that I'm sorry for adding fuel to the fire with the fight. And he said that as the father, I should have been the bigger person instead of blaming my son, because he thought he was like in the 3D. He's like, oh, I'm the father. I don't have to apologize. So therefore I'm above my kid. But in reality, he's like, no, like I should have just been the bigger person and realized that I had fault in it too. And he's like, I appreciate you telling me that you're sorry and that you meant it. And he's like, I knew you didn't mean it. We were just really heated. And he said we should have been more civil with each other in that moment. And he's also saying that, you know, he just wants you to continue to be yourself and find yourself. And back with the TikTok thing, just tell some of your life stories and stuff, and don't be like everybody else who does those silly little dance trends, you know? They're a bunch of empty likes from the wrong people. Just because that video has 100,000 likes doesn't mean they're likes from the right people. Look at the comment section. It doesn't line up, now does it? You know, but when you get on there and you just be yourself, you'd be amazed at how many more views you can get and how many more likes you can get. Those people who are their real selves doing animal rescue videos on there and stuff like that, they get the most views. You just never hear about them because no news is good news.
He said he was getting aggressive with his mom, and I was dealing with losing him, and my emotions were up and down.
And he says, I'm sorry that I didn't validate how you felt. He says that was my biggest mistake ever with my son. He says, I never validated how my child felt, and I missed out on so many amazing things about you, and I took you for granted, and I put you down the toilet, and I'm very sorry. He says, the things that I should have acknowledged, the things that I should have said and done that I didn't do, it eats me up inside still. And he says that, you know, he feels bad knowing that he can't come down to the 3D even just for 5 minutes to let you know. And he says, it's like the song Sorry by Buck Cherry, you know, sorry I'm bad, sorry I'm blue, sorry about all the things that I said to you, and I know you can't take it back. I love how you sing, I love how you sound, and maybe the way you made my world go round, but I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. And that's him, and it's kind of like the bridge of the song. He keeps singing it like, the bridge of the song goes, and every single day, I think about how we came all this way, and the nights that I've seen the tears you've cried, and then, you know, I'm sorry I'm bad, I'm sorry I'm blue, I'm sorry about all the things I said to you. And he's saying it to your mom as well. It's especially directed towards your mom, like, there's everything inside, it never comes out right, and it makes me want to die. And that's, he keeps just singing little parts of that song, especially the chorus of, I'm sorry I'm mad, I'm sorry I'm blue, I'm sorry about all the things I said to you, and I know I can't take it back. Those are the big ones, and the things of, I love how you sing, I love how you sound, and maybe the way you made my world go around. Like, he just can't stop singing that part. And the part says, and I just wanted to say, I'm sorry. You know, and even though it's not the happiest reading, but he said, just please.
Any messages for my mom?
Oh, yes. She just says, continue to be yourself.
He wanted to know for his message from his dad to his mom.
From his dad to his mom.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I was very flustered. Well, he's saying to your mom that he was not the husband that he promised her that he would be for her. He's saying that I did not live up to my promise, and when I said on that aisle, forever or for worse, I didn't mean it. And he said, I'm very sorry for wasting that time and not looking you in the eyes when I said it. For better or for worse, or for sickness and in health. And instead I put you through more sickness than I shouldn't have. You deserved somebody way better than me, sweetheart, he said. I messed up. And I should have never laid my hands on you. I basically was messing with gold and I didn't know it. I was such a fool, he said. More than a fool, I was a disease. He said, I got around like the flu. He said, you know, your life, I can't imagine what your life could have been with someone who could have treated you better, and I took that away from you, and I'm very sorry. And he said that the pain that you went through, I take responsibility for it, and I now hold that cross that you bear on my shoulders now, and I promise I will take care of it and be responsible for the karma that I am now paying off. He said that karma is no longer yours to pay off, and I should have told you before I died. He's saying that, you know, I should have told you how beautiful you looked in that dress, but I knew I wasn't the one for you. And he didn't want to let you know, even though he knew what he was doing was bad and very selfish. And he says that he's sorry. And he says the reason why he shouldn't have married you is not because of you. It was because of him not knowing who he is. Him being the negative person that he was, he said. And him knowing that he wasn't stable. And knowing that he only did it because he didn't want to be alone and he didn't want to let you down. And he said that, however, Victor was the best thing that happened to the both of us. Victor is what kept us here, and he says, you know, Victor's a great son to have, and, you know, he said you raised him well. You made a soldier out of him that still knows how to cry, because even the biggest and the baddest cry. Everybody cries in their life, and he says, you shouldn't have to ask me permission to cry. He says, I want to see you fall apart so you can build yourself back up to be a warrior. How can a grasshopper become a knight in shining armor until it falls apart? You know? And he's saying that you need to find somebody else who would treat you right and tell the story so that they will understand you, and it will show the test of true love if they're the right fit. You know, he's very sorry. And he said that I know it's deep, I know it's hard. He says, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to be angry at me, so be it, because I did it to you. And I blamed you for the things that I did to you, and I shouldn't have. He says, you know, I'd be damned if I didn't make up for it, or at least fess up to it now. He says, I appreciate you guys at least having some willpower to try and forgive me. He says, you know, I got lucky that I'm in a good place now because of having two people that at least gave me the benefit of the doubt. He says to your mom, Victor, that he's sorry for taking away a lot of her joy and robbing her of that smile that she had before she met your dad. No offense to your family at all. I'm just telling you what he's saying. And he says, even though I robbed your smile, please get it back for the right man. Grow old with him, and make sure when he looks at you and says, for better or for worse, in sickness and in health, make sure he darn means it. And he's saying that, you know, even though you're crying right now, you know, let your heart grow, because I stopped it from growing, and I should have let you grow on your spiritual journey as well. And he says, I'm sorry for trying to act like I owned your birthrights, because I don't. I was such a dictator, he said, and I'm sorry for making this household so toxic and so hard for you guys. He says that I should have owned up to it, and the times I did apologize, I didn't mean it, and I just went back to the same thing, the same red tape, and I knew better, and I didn't do it. And he says that, you know, when your time comes, whenever that may be, I promise you'll see a new man on the other side. And he says something about the will just to, you know, rip it up, and I should have been more selfless with it instead of selfish. Back to you, Journey.
All right.
That was a lot.
Well, that was also two jumps in one. So, because you got the message from him, and then you got the message from the mother, and it's a lot. And then the emotional energy that comes with it, especially with it being new, a new death in the family.
Oh, yeah.
It's more emotional, and they're still trying to, you know, they're in the process of forgiveness and letting things go and seeing things from a bigger light. And, you know, I get, you know, when we cross over, we get to re-expand to what everything means. You know, everybody's like, what's the meaning in life? You're going to find out. Everybody does. But the thing is that, you know, that's a lot of energy. And that being a newer death, I try to let the spirit, and this is just my own preference, I give it 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I let them cross over, let them do what they got to do first, and then I'm like, all right, now you're ready. Now I'm going to dip in. And he says, my biggest phobia in life was dying alone, and I didn't want him to die alone. When he passed, I was too busy loading up my guns to go out and shoot because I wanted space to myself. And then he finally passed, and I felt so guilty for him passing away without me. Is he okay?
He's good. He understands, and he knew that you were trying to help maintain yourself, and he says it's the best thing you could have done for me anyways. Don't cry, Victor. Don't cry, Victor's mom, but it's okay if you have to. You're entitled to your feelings.
All right. Oh, this tab's trying not to let it happen. Victor, we're sorry for your loss. I hope you
absolutely. Make prayers.
And the rest of your family will heal. It takes time. Remember that, and try to understand the emotions that you're feeling. That way, you don't lash out.
And you're entitled to them and process them, you know?
Absolutely. All right, so let's get to tonight's winner. Tonight's winner was Amy Spencer. Amy, are you still with us? You won tonight's drawing.
What did she win?
She won $10 on the website to use for any psychic to get a private reading. Victor says, I'm crying. Thank you. I really needed that.
Of course, Victor, anytime. You can always call me on the website.
All right.
Feel how you need to feel.
Amy says, I'm here. Amy, congratulations. You won $10 on My Psychic Connection. Are you on the site, sweetheart?
Tonight's her night, isn't it?
Yes, tonight is her night. Here comes that Phoenix energy already. She's got $10 to go towards a reading, plus 3 free minutes on the website to whatever psychic she would like. So, awesome sauce. It's a good deal. She says, yeah, thanks. So, honey, are you on the website, like mypsychicconnection.com? Do you have a membership on there?
Do you need to create one?
So if you don't have one, make one. She says, yes, I'm on the website. Yes. Okay, well, congratulations. Is it under Amy Spencer? So that way we can add your funds tonight.
Is she typing?
I'm sure she is.
I just couldn't tell if there was like a notification.
She said, yes. All right, Amy, we'll look for you on the website and give you that gift of $10 to go to any reading you want with any of the psychics on the website. All right, let's take one last question. Nevada, are you here? Nevada?
Last but not least.
I think it's Nevada. Nevada. I don't know. Maybe I'm not saying it right. Username should be Eeyore. Okay, I'll find you. We got to send you guys some of the minutes. Got to get them minutes. That's why I tell people, stay to the end because somebody's going to win them minutes. As soon as you say hi, you're automatically put in the drawing.
And sometimes you'll learn from other people's readings too.
Absolutely. You always get a piece of knowledge. Sometimes it doesn't make sense at that time, but later on you'll be sitting back going, you know what?
That meant something.
I know what they're talking about now. It happens a lot. And then you get a message through like, Journey, I know what the hell you was talking about now. It just happened. I was like, you're welcome.
Just like a teenager turning into a grad student.
All right, Amy, we're going to get those minutes out to you. I'm not seeing her, so I'm going to go Unique Smith. Unique, go ahead and throw us your question. This will be the last question of the night.
That's such a pretty name.
It is. We tell her that every time, too. Every time she's on. Unique, are you here? She was here a little while ago. I'm just seeing if she's still here.
I hope she didn't fall asleep.
It happens. Oh, nope, she's here. She says, did my son do what he's accused of?
Ooh.
Yeah. I felt that wave of energy.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like he was kind of up to no good. I mean, I feel like some of it, he had an association with it, but I don't think he was 100% responsible for it, to be honest. I feel like there may have been some peer pressure involved, or someone tried to talk him into something, or there was like some sort of I help you, you help me stuff going on. But I don't think it was just him involved, to be honest. I feel like there was some peer pressure at the very least going on, or someone was, smooth talking and he got himself into a pickle of some sort. So if I were you, I would keep it on the down low, but don't be passive aggressive. If I were you, I would just, if he comes to you for advice, or if he admits to whatever happened, keep calm and ask him what he learned from the experience and how you as a mother can help him learn to make a better choice next time. Talk to him, ask him what could have been going on in his life that you may have not been aware of as to what caused him to act out. Because that's a lot of things a lot of people tend to sign off on is, oh, they committed a crime or they did this, they did that, so therefore I'm not going to listen to them. Well, guess what?
Says, yes. The sound stopped. The sound,
really?
Yeah. She says, it's not anything like that. He was blamed for something a person said he did to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, is that there's peer pressure involved in victimizing this person. You know what I'm saying? I should have made that more clear, is that I feel like someone was trying to talk him into something, and there was like more than one person involved, and it was almost like they were like ganging up on somebody to like get revenge or trying to, shock factor is what I'm saying. If that makes sense to you. Not every psychic is for everyone. Not everything resonates for everyone. I'm just telling you how I see it, because I may be picking up on a side note that you may not have been aware of either, if you will. You know what I'm saying? There could have been more to the story that you just don't know yet. Back to you, Journey.
All right. Well, Unique, just hang in there with that. It does take a lot to understand everything that's going on. I hope what she said gave you some clarity or some understanding, or maybe even a question.
Did she say something?
She said, no, someone said he touched them inappropriately, but nothing.
That's what I got too, but I didn't want to say that on camera,
Yeah.
Because that's hard, I just wasn't sure if he was peer pressured into, That's what I was trying to get at. I just didn't want to get demonetized here,
Okay.
I'm very sorry, Unique. I'm very sorry. If you need to call, please do. Call the domestic violence hotline. Do whatever you got to do.
She's saying he didn't do it, and she said the story changed up multiple times.
That's what I'm getting at. That's why I'm like getting that energy. That's why I'm like peer pressure, wrong place at the wrong time. There's just so many.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how I see it.
All right, you guys, we have come to the close of our show. Unique, have a sit down with him, talk with him, get him, if anybody was trying to pressure or make it out to be him and it's not him, you know what I mean? You need to have that, get that down to earth talk. It's time. I did see clear of the name, so he's not going to be guilty of it. That's what I saw.
Yeah, I'm just more thinking wrong place at the wrong time. It's just, there was so much chaos going on in the energy.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
All right, good. Just make sure just stay that cheerleader.
Absolutely.
That's why I asked. Yeah, I see the name being cleared. Yeah, there's some fooling around, and
that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, this foul stories are all over the place, and no one's really telling the truth. That's what clears his name. So you'll be good. Yeah. And I think that's what you're getting at too. Yeah, you were getting to that, and the bell was ringing, and it was running out of time. And
yeah, but Journey words it better. He's my boss. So.
All right, guys. It's all good. Unique, have a beautiful night. She says he's only 13. Yeah, that sounds about right. I got the foolish games around that age group, so that sounds about right. All right, guys. Well, we want you to have a beautiful night. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. for Gifts of Faith show, Psychic Insight. And tune in at 10, where Faith and I will tag team the readings again for 2 hours. It's going to be a great night. So get those questions ready. Grab your favorite drink. It's going to be a fun day and a fun night, guys. And don't forget, starting next week, Gifts of Faith show will be moving to the 7 p.m. time slot, and that's Eastern time. All right, until then, this is Journey Ryan and Emma Rose signing off, saying have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.